You are live. There we go. We are here with Dr. Mystical. Hello, Dr. Mystical.
Hello, T.O. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you hanging out
Here. Yeah.
So today, what are we doing?
We are talking about our favorite Easter-themed decks. No. What are we up to? Some crazy stuff. We're up to talking about some tarot gifts for the tarot lover or the tarot interested lover in your deck. In your deck. That's how I think about the world now. It's not family, it's not friends, it's just a deck collection.
It's just people that like tarot just like you do. You know?
That's right.
If you find somebody like that, you want to give them something, you might as well give them a freaking tarot deck. That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly right. That's exactly how it should be.
There you go. So we're going to do the top ones. I guess we have my picks and we have your picks. I have no idea what your picks are. You have no idea what my picks are. So we'll start out.
It's exciting.
Let's start out with you. What do you want here? What do you want? So you're giving somebody a gift. What do you got?
All right. So there's a system of decks. So I'm looking right now. I'm just looking at kind of Hay House. So right now there's a couple of decks at Hay House and they're having a great 50% off sale. So if you're interested in saving, the trick is of course going to be shipping, right? That's the big trick everywhere. But at Hay House, you're going to, I think it's the new Moonology Manifestations. And I don't have my other camera up, but there's this is the new Yasmin Bolin deck. And it's actually a pretty good deck. And you can get this for, can I share it? Can I share the screen?
Sure.
Am I allowed to share it? Oh my gosh, it gives me tips and everything. My goodness, it's been a while since I've used StreamYard. So this is the new Moonology Manifestations deck from Yasmin Bolin. And she had a huge pre-sale for this. And it is a really kind of nice update on just meditations that you can use. And if you're into cartomancy and tarot and you're starting to think about meditation in quieter times and want to understand the moon cycles and what they mean for folks like us, then this is a pretty good deck. And it's $11 right now at Hay House, which is a really good deal. Hay House struggles something like they have good decks and then they get into some different directions, right? They get a little weird every once in a while.
Hey, you got to get weird every once in a while.
Yeah, but Moonology, and then if they don't have the original Moonology deck, you don't need to get it for them. That's certainly not required for this deck. It does a pretty good job on its own. Like this is like last quarter moon in Sagittarius, and just like the Moonology deck has a little bit of prompt. Right, has a little bit of thanks for doing that, T.O. It has a little bit of a prompt about what it is, and then the book gives you a little bit more on the meditation thing. So, like meditation is some of the things that I'm into these days. trying to cool my ass off.
So, there you go. You gotta bring it down a notch sometimes.
Sometimes I just gotta. It's getting into the season. We gotta calm down. We gotta just calm down.
Tis the season to be calm.
Right. Exactly right. All right. So what's your pick? What's your
I'm going budget. I think all of mine are going to be budget today. So
I think $11 is pretty budget.
There you go. Yeah. $11, $16. I think we're keeping it on the down low. Speaking of keeping it down low. So I'm going with the Disney villains. I mean, right. I ragged on it a little bit for the lack of illustrated minors, but some people corrected me in chat in the comments and said, hey, even though they're unillustrated, some of the stuff there in the background actually makes sense because this is from this particular movie and this particular scene. So maybe they put more thought into it. And I just didn't memorize all 1,200 or whatever movies that Disney offers. Even though I do have Disney Plus, I guess I should go back and just, and
just watch all the classics.
Yeah, I don't need a job. I'm just going to watch them all. Just watch them all in a row. I just look up every card. No, but I don't have time for that. But I'm just saying, Disney villain deck. A lot of people really, really like this, and I think this is it's a pretty attractive deck.
Yeah. No, it is. It is attractive, and I think she's starting to. This is by the same person who did the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, right? Same creator, and so. It's coming along, right? Because the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, I know people went crazy, and I know it's my unpopular tarot opinion of the year. I did not like that deck.
Mm-hmm. So what made you not like that one?
One is I'm not, and I know this makes me a heretic in the land of tarot, but I don't really care much for the movie, to be honest with you.
Oh.
And so I don't know the movie as well. So probably if I knew the movie, the deck would be just amazing. I think it's more of people who are, I think what Disney's trying to do with tarot decks is they're trying to target people who are huge fans of the movie, and then they're just monetizing all the things around it. And The Nightmare Before Christmas just kind of made a little bit of sense, right? So,
oh, there you go. But the box is going concave. I mean, I just showed you that a second ago. So
yeah.
It's actually going concave, and I've just had it sitting on the shelf. Like I haven't actually, been putting anything on top of it or anything, but it's turning concave. I don't know the bottom of the box. It's only been what, a week or so? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's not.
But anyway, but obviously, for $16, this is going to be good. It does have a book. I do like that the book has full color stuff, and it sort of goes into some of the things. And anyway, right. I really kind of think this would be good to give someone, because I don't want it. So I'd love to give this to. So this would be. I'd love to give this out to somebody, anybody. No, I'm actually okay, but yeah, this is going to be my number one pick for, or my first pick for decks that I think would be great gifts.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that if I had a number one pick, I think it depends on where this person is in your, like where they are in their tarot journey.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. So somebody's saying Lakin saying in the chat, like, it's not like the deck, I think this is about the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. So she loves the movie, but doesn't care for the deck. Okay, so that maybe helps me validate. So it depends on where this person is in their tarot collection. Like if they got a tarot deck and they like using it, and you want to expand them out a little bit and get them thinking about different things. I think there's a couple of decks this year, and I don't have this one queued up, so let me just give me a minute while I find it. But I think actually the one deck that I would recommend, I think, is Light Seers Tarot. Again, it's a Hay House deck. And you can, and just full caution on, and I think T.O., you tell me if you ascribe to this, but full cautionary note on using Amazon and Walmart and Wish.com. It is becoming more and more a place for counterfeit decks and counterfeit creations. And if you follow these creators on Instagram, you know how prevalent that is. And Light Seers is one of these decks that I think is great for somebody, no matter where they are in their tarot journey, if they don't already have this deck, but particularly around beginners, just because it's such a beautifully illustrated deck. It's not the Sacred Creators Oracle, which I know is I know that's your top pick of the year, T.O. But I know that's your top pick of the year. All right, so let me share. And good news, friends, good news. It's also on sale right now at Hay House for $15, which is pretty remarkable. It's normally $25. If you're an Amazon member, you could find the deck for 15 or even less, but chances are very good it's counterfeit.
Yep, that's a really good deal. Some of the, I mean, you go to Llewellyn's site, they have some insane deals. I did a video on some of the deals they have where it's like they beat Amazon by like, 25, 30% kind of beat Amazon's price and all that. But
if you with Llewellyn or Hay House or US Games never does this, but infrequently, but Llewellyn usually has a coupon sale or percentage off sale most of the time. And so, that's an easy thing to pick up.
Yep. And here is a little taste of the Light Seers Tarot. If you're in some cave for the past couple of years and you have not seen this.
Yeah.
and
like
you have not
seen it. Really be in a cave.
So it's a beautiful deck. I think Chris Ann did great. I mean, the good thing about this deck is it picks up a lot of extra meanings from some of the cards, and the vibrancy of it is just stunning, as you can see from the sun, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and absolutely. Just everything. The card quality is good. It's nice and thick deck. It has a lot.
She never really replicated the card quality on Light Seers. Like in all the other decks that are out there, it never really kind of never got to. I'm trying to pull up the next book here. But yeah, it never really got to that. That's probably like that deck is like having an old pair of jeans. Like it's just super comfortable.
Well, until you gain weight, and then
then you need sweatpants.
Then you kind of convert to sweatpants. Yeah, that's it.
Right, for sure.
All right, Lightseers is a complete win every time. Yeah, absolutely,
every time. No, you're never going to disappoint a tarot person with Lightseers unless they have it, and in which case they can give it to a friend.
Yeah, that's right. It's always gift. What is it? Pass it on.
Regifting, yes, regifting.
There you go. My number 2 would be Tarot of the Divine, which has made almost every list that I have, along with the Wizard's Tarot, which, spoiler alert, is later. But yeah, $16. I think when it originally had come out, it was like $13. And there's so much freaking thought that is put into this deck. I mean, just incredible amount of thought that was put into this deck. Because you have, not only can you get an additional book that tells you about the fairy tales that are in each individual card, but you also have a little book that sort of, previews it, and the book is full color that you get with it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you can, for another $11-12, you can buy the bigger book, which has more in depth and actually tell you the entire fairy tale. And the fact that it is so well thought out, like, the Page of Coins tale sort of matches that. The Legend of the Watermelon or whatever matches the 9 of Coins, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they really knocked it out of the park, and the price is so good. And obviously, I mean, when you get it out and start messing around with it, the card quality is exceptional. It's thick. It is, it's just excellent card quality. It's incredible card quality, and the graphics and everything are just vibrant, beautiful. And overall, it is just a complete win. I can't see anybody getting this and not spending like hours going through Google and be like, what is that? What is kind of that tale, and what's involved with that? And why is that person doing that, and kind of thing. So
right. I agree. I'm trying to find this particular deck, but it's back ordered all over the place.
This your next one?
Yeah, my next one. It is back ordered all over the place, but this, if you can find it, so if you're visiting a spirit shop or a local tarot shop, like there's local spiritual metaphysical store, I think that the deck that you should look for, especially if this is somebody they've been reading tarot for a while, they might have one deck and they're looking to kind of work on doing more with their tarot. Look at maybe the opposition or the shadow side. It's the Tarot of Oppositions. And this was a pretty well sought after. I'm trying to find the tab here. A pretty well sought after deck out of Llewellyn or Lo Scarabeo, depending on where you are in the world. And it certainly is it's back ordered, no matter, like I just pulled it up on Amazon and Sketchy, and I pulled it up on Llewellyn's site, and it's back ordered. But if you can find this in a local tarot shop, or a local metaphysical shop, I highly recommend the Tarot of Oppositions. I think that the artwork is outstanding on this particular deck. I think that it makes the oppositions very, very plain. If you're struggling with understanding the different meanings of shadows or reversals, this is the deck that will help you. The Lightseers does a good job too in the book, by the way, but this is a deck that will visually, there you go, you have the cards up right now, and they're super, like, the card quality is pretty decent, it's a good deck. And this is one of the favorites in the community too, because of the chance of getting an opposing thing. I think some of the artwork, particularly around like Queen of Wands and 9 of Cups, it really shows some of the toxic shadow side, the opposition side of what the tarot represents. And the box is absolutely killer, right? I mean, here's the one side of the box, and this is the Hermit for the uninitiated. And then if you open it, inside you get the opposition of that. I mean, that's pretty great, right? I mean, this is the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Wands rather. So I just think this is, for me, this is one of my top decks of the year, is the Tarot of Oppositions. I wish I got a chance to read it more, but so many decks come in to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that made my top 10 of the year too. So
yeah,
It's a fantastic deck. There's a lot really in 2021, especially November. They just sort of just flooded us with stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good box designs. Yeah, it's Tarot Fun. I mean, there's a lot of good box designs out lately too. A lot of people are really putting a lot of some thought, you know what I'm saying, for the box. So you get it and you're just like, that's a cool box. You know, you're opening up. That is a really innovative type of strat that they're using with that. All right.
Right.
So the next one is going to be Chris Ann's back, I guess, with the Tarot Curious Creatures. I mean, why not?
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's an excellent deck. I really like this deck as well. It's reminiscent of the Muse Tarot, right?
The Muse Tarot, indeed. I think because it's just so vibrant, I think they just did a bang-up job. She did a bang-up job with this. It does have some sort of weird, some of the characters are a bit weird when you look at them and whatnot, but it's so pretty. Like you're looking through it and you're like, that is so vibrant. It catches your attention. It's fun. Everybody loves animals and just the card design. We have border, but it's so minimalistic. It's really, the vibrancy is really not coming through on the camera, but whatever.
But anyway, it is a beautiful, beautiful deck, right? It's just, it's well, she did a very good job on this, and I really feel good about it. And the whole anthropomorphized animal thing is starting to become a pretty trendy topic in the tarot these days. And so that's not a bad thing, right? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got a hardbound box, $23. It's pretty good, pretty traditional mass market price, and it's not as cheap as like some of the ones you're showing. I don't know. They have the Tarot Curious Creatures. Is that on sale at Hay House too?
It's out of stock, but yeah, it's $18 at Hay House right now, which isn't as cheap as say Light Seers, but it's also a brand new deck for less than $20, less than $20. And again, you probably could find it. I'm gonna check Bookshop and see if I can find it there. But chances are good if it's back ordered in one place, it's back ordered everywhere, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it was on Amazon, but I mean, it's been 10 minutes. Maybe it's back ordered on there. I don't know. Some of the things on Amazon, you actually order it, and then after you order it, they say, "Oh, yeah, well, you know, it showed in stock, but there's going to be a few weeks before you get it."
Right. So if you go to bookshop.org, you can find the Tarot of Curious Creatures. It's $24.83. So I don't, they have it crossed off like it's a sale, but I don't know that $24.83 is that much different than $26.99. But bookshop.org, you can find it, and you support a small bookshop or a small bookstore. So that's not a bad thing.
There you go. Is that like Walmart, where sometimes they'll have a $5 will be crossed out and have a a super sale, and it's now $5?
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. It's just, I think it just depends on kind of where they are and what they're doing. So
there you go. What do you got next?
So I was looking for, so there's a deck that I pulled, and now I can't remember where I got it from. I hate that. I hate that feeling. And it is called The Seasons of the Witch. Now, this isn't necessarily a cheap deck, but for those of you who are looking for a kind of a Yuletide or a Christmas deck, this is a kind of one of the few that are out there. There's not a lot of these decks that are out there. It's $20. It's a pretty popular deck from Juliette Diaz and Lorraine Anderson. Let me share the screen up for you so you can. I found it on Amazon. So, you know, buyer beware with Amazon. But, you know, the art, this is a deck that in fairness, right, it is still sealed, right? I need to get to it and to some other decks that I have in terms of opening up. But this is from the Seasons of the Witch, which Samhain edition, but now it's all Yuletide-y, and the cards are just absolutely kind of very picturesque and winter themed. So this, I think, in terms of a Christmas deck, I think this does a nice job. And I know there's a lot of people like the Seasons of the Witch Samhain edition, and this just, for me, it just tickled my winter holiday, you know, need. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I think people should, for less than $20. This is a pretty neat, neat deck for folks. So.
Yeah, that one slipped under my radar. I like the cards. It looks pretty
cool. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a huge fan of the Samhain edition. It's not something I own. It just never really resonated with me. But there was just something about the Yuletide theme of the deck that, and of course you can, if you wanted to, right? You can get, all of them. You can get this and the Samhain edition if you feel like you can add all three. Amazon is good about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're good about reminding you to buy more stuff.
Spend more money at Amazon. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Bezos got to go to space, man. We can't.
Yeah, somebody's got to go to space.
Someone has to go to space. Right?
I'm spaced out. He's in space.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. What's my next one? Wizard's Tarot. I'd recommend this all the freaking time. 24 hours a day, I seem to be recommending this.
You do. You do recommend this a lot.
This is just like a crack addiction for me. I'm just telling you now. This is so the Wizard. Let me tell you why I recommend this all the time. Number one, the box is beautiful. You get a nice hardbound box. But secondly, you get this massive book. It's like this massive book. Not only that, but it's in full color. It's in full color. Awesome. It's got tons and tons of information on every card. And the cards themselves are insanely detailed. There's so much. If you just dive into this and look at this, you're like, wait a minute, that kind of relates a little bit to the Three of Wands. What's written on there. Some of the stuff that's in some of the stuff in the majors, some of this, it's just absolutely stunning and gorgeous deck. I think they did an amazing thing with it. It's kind of hard to do realistic decks, I think, and still keep it kind of fun, but I think they did a fantastic job. Not only that, but it's vibrant, it's pretty. Like every card is drastically different. Like look at the dragon.
It's like Ciro Marchetti and oh hell, I just lost her name.
Barbara Moore?
Yeah. No, not Barbara Moore. Who did the fairy oracle? Hang on.
I don't know.
Lucy Cavendish.
Oh, Lucy Cavendish. Yeah. Doesn't have any big heads in here, but Lucy
no
Cavendish
big heads, does. But it's got that Ciro Marchetti excellence, right?
Yep, it does. Like there's also like little details all over the place, like the spider webs here. So you just sit here just like forever and just go through and look how different that card is versus that card versus that card.
Is it a collaboration deck? Or no?
Yeah, I think it's illustrated by Mickey Johnson's. Yeah, it looked like it's illustrated by one person. Whoever did the illustration, I don't know how long this took them, but Jesus, they did an amazing job on this. Every card is like more stunning than the previous card. So you get a massive hardbound book, you get all this stuff, and you get it. The reason I always recommend, if this was $35, I'd be like, kind of sketch. It's $20. It's $24 for this thing. So. Yeah. Such a great deal, such a fantastic addition to anybody's collection. And there's so many people that love this. I get on the stream and people be like, oh, in the Wizard's Tarot, they did this and this and that. I'm like, wait, what? I have to go back. And I'm like, it's one of my favorite decks, but I still don't know what you're talking about because there's so much.
There's so much in it. Oh my gosh. It's a beautiful deck for sure. I don't know why I don't have that one necessarily.
Oh, you got to get that one.
I guess I'm going to have to get it. All right. So my next one is, hang on, I'm going to share up the screen again. We got to do all these things. There it is. This is a new one from, I've been working on my Mac all day. I don't know where my keys are. I don't know where my keys are anymore. So this is a new one from Paulina Cassidy, right? Who came out, which is Joie de Vivre Tarot. And of course the Paulina Tarot. But this is our brand new deck, Phantasma Tarot. This is supposed to be in my mailbox today, as a matter of fact. But for $23, this is a pretty good deal, especially if your tarot loved one is into the animals, that the Curious Creatures was interesting into you. This also does the same sort of thing, kind of anthropomorphizes the animals, and Paulina Faye's very, very typical, beautiful, intricate artwork. And just look at the details in this. It's so beautifully done, right? The pencil lines and dots. And this is a difficult one to show on stream, of course. So if they're a tarot streamer, this is going to challenge them like no other. This Paulina Faye's tarot are the reason I switched from webcams to a phone camera for my desk cam on my stream. That's the truth. And so just really well done. I think this is a very beautiful deck. I think she does a really nice job with it. I'm always disappointed. I'm always disappointed in the box. It's typical US Games tuck box stuff. They don't invest a lot in their tuck boxes, so those tend to fall apart pretty quickly. But this is a beautiful deck, and it's something I'm really excited about. The other one that you could think about getting them is I'm sorry, I'm doubling up. You can yell at me if you want.
That's all good. What to yell?
You're like, no, I told you just one at a time. So the other one, of course, this is a wild favorite on stream, and that is the Spirit Song Tarot. This is just such a beautiful, just so beautifully done, right? And it's just the intricate, beautiful artwork. It's colorful, it's detailed. It gives nice little prompts. So even if you're a beginning tarot reader, this is going to get you all the way to reading with confidence. Reading with confidence. And this is this has been around for a long time. So if you're looking at Phantasma Tarot and you can't find it, or if you want to do a double up, I would say Spirit Song and Phantasma are on my list for the holiday season as well. In fact, like I said, Phantasma is supposed to arrive today.
Yeah, and her stuff, I mean, I don't know how long she takes on each individual card, but I mean, wow. Like some of the details. It's
crazy. It's a crazy amount of work that she does. I just ordered a new deck it's an indie deck that's on its way. That the artist, it's called the Blood Moon Tarot.
Yeah.
It's an indie card. It's an indie deck. It's individual produced. The artwork is beautiful, hand painted, everything. And you can check out her channel. Sam Gay is her name. It's SAMGUAY. And on her YouTube site, she's got all the artwork for the cards. So you can walk like over her shoulder, see how she's painted it. Wow. Nonetheless, right? It's when I see Paulina Faye's decks, right? I see the same sort of like that level of detail that's put into.
Yeah, like that's cool. That's a lot of dedication. I mean, you got to be
a full-time artist.
Yeah, you got to be a full-time artist. You can't work. You can't work the 15-hour days and then come home and do that.
Right. No, not at all. All right,
my next one's the Gregory Scott Tarot. I use it all the time. I think Gregory Scott not only knocked it out of the park as far as symbology, meaning, and everything else on this. It is a tech box, but I'm just saying it's beautiful, stunning. I use it all the time, and there's so much extra meaning on each card. Like there's so much extra stuff. So when you're reading it, all of a sudden you're looking at the card differently, right? From every one of those. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting type of things to do. And $21.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. I use it all the time. It's one of my main ones that I reach for. I think I've used it every stream since I've gotten it. I don't think I've skipped it any streams other than the streams where I just go old school sometimes. But yeah,
just all rider weight all the time.
All rider weight all the time. But I mean, hey, Gregory Scott, that's that's where it's at. That's the one I like. I think that'd make a great gift because it's one of those where you just look through it, and the more you look through it, the more you're like, okay, there's some thought put into this. That they didn't just paint something. They're like, oh, 7 of Wands. I don't know. Let me just paint this, right? Let me just paint a deer and headlights or something. It's just
right.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of thought went into each individual card. I think they had a lot of communication with the artist, David Corsi, who does a lot of other stuff. So I think the good pick for the artist, good pick for communication and the themes on each card overall. I think that would make an amazing gift anybody'd love to have.
Yeah, I love the Gregory Scott Tarot. I think what I've come to. So in the beginning, I read it just as you see it, but when you get into the deck itself, right, you get into looking into the backgrounds of the cards and seeing the like when you look at, was it the Queen? It's the Queen of Swords. I think there's 3 hanged characters. I'm gonna look up that Blood Moon Tarot. Yeah, it's called the Blood Moon Tarot. I'll drop it in the private chat for you, T.O., if you want to put it out in the
just
in the
put
chat
it in
box.
Public chat.
I can't add it to the public chat unless I drop
you can't.
It.
That's
not
weird.
from StreamYard.
Oh, screw StreamYard. All right, let's see. Why does StreamYard have to be weird? There we go. Blood Moon Tarot. There we go. I shared the link.
There you go. And so they're down to like the last 100 decks. It's not it's not an inexpensive deck, but you're paying for really, I think, well done art. And so I just by happenstance happened to find that. There was another deck that I just ordered that I think has got legs, but I can't find it right now. All right, what about books? What are you thinking of? So tarot decks aside, let's talk about books, T.O.
Okay.
So tarot readers aren't just reading cards, they're also learning about the books. Do you have any particular metaphysical books out there that you think folks want to know about?
I mean, while you're asking about it, we can throw in the Tarot Guidance book by Tarot Oracle. I mean,
I hear it's good.
You think you have that one? I think I should.
I do.
There you go. All right, 230 pages, full gloss. So I mean, sponsored, obviously, but yeah, there's that. and the best of all, special thanks to Dr. Mystical up here.
Yeah, no, that's the best part of the whole book.
Special thanks to Dr. Mystical. That's the best part of the book. But yeah,
the value of that triples when you get both Tarot Oracle and I to autograph it.
Oh wow, that would be a lot of mail. That'd be a lot of mail and delay.
Yes, a lot of mail. That's why it's so damn expensive.
A lot of mail and delay. No, I have to go with a standard Mary Kay Greer books and all this other stuff. Although I do like some of the books that were released, this year, last year. Yeah, I think the classics are still the classics for a reason, and I would stick with that. What about you?
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. The Tarot Oracle book is really great, and I enjoy reading it and referring to it. It's a good reference in terms of how to keep expanding your thinking. The other book that I got this year that I really liked as a desk reference was Tarot Deciphered by Susan Chang. I'm trying to. Llewellyn is struggle. They are on the struggle bus. They are on the struggle bus. I can run across the room, but everybody would see me run across the room. Llewellyn's website is struggling today, really legitimately struggling today. Let me see if I can find it.
There we go.
You got it? Tarot Deciphered. I'm trying to find a price for it for folks so they can kind of get it in their budget thinking. Yeah, so it's on sale for $32. It's not a budget book, but look at how big that book is. That's not a pamphlet. Boy. Yeah, that's not a pamphlet. And you're gonna thank you very much, Surin. Yeah, right. There it is, right? It's the highlights, it's the gets into everything, Tree of Life and the thought symbolism and astrology. This book is not a cover to cover reader. Like you're not just gonna sit down and I'm just gonna sit down and casually read.
Wait, you're not supposed to do that? I did that.
No.
Maybe that makes me weird.
Well, you do you, man. But I like to, I tend to pick a card a day and then go, or when I want to read a little bit more about it, or understand a little bit more about it. So like I've been doing this Tarot Vlogmas thing. And so I'm using it as like a diving board into reading a little bit more about the cards. So I understand the symbolism more. That's a good book. And there's books. There's another book that's out there that I can't. It's called The Magic of Tarot. So if you are a Darkwood Tarot fan, this is Sasha Graham's book, and you can find it, I think, on Amazon for about $20, and it's got tarot rituals and different sorts of stuff. I'm gonna share my Amazon deal. So $20, you can find it a little bit cheaper, I'm sure, if you just search around. But this is a good kind of. I've been reading this steadily along, and pretty interesting stuff in terms of tarot and ritual. And that's one of the things I loved about the Darkwood Tarot, was that the guidebook was really more of a grimoire, and you were really digging into a lot more of how to use tarot in lots of different ways. And that was interesting to me as well. So the magic of tarot is certainly that for me as well. And yeah, you can see there's only 3 left on all of Amazon. In the entire universe of Amazon, they have, I don't even know how they would know they have 3.
I'm sure they got a database somewhere.
You think?
Yeah. Gotta get on that SQL server and make a field.
It's called the Is It Here field. Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Is It Here? In stock Boolean. I don't know. Boolean or Boolean, the potato.
Potato. All right. What's your other ones? Where are we?
Druidcraft Tarot. It's so old. Comes with a book. It's $24. It's beautiful. And if you trim it, it looks like
Did you trim this deck?
Yeah, I'm a bad boy. You're
gonna get in trouble.
Rebel without a cause.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Rebel with a cause. Here's a trimmed. All right, this is one of those decks. If you have it not trimmed, you're just like, I don't know. But then you take the scissors to it, and then it becomes a totally different deck. It's just like the Thoth, right?
Right.
It's just like the Thoth. So I'm just saying that's a gorgeous deck. And it does require trimming. The borders are just like laughable and just like, oh my God, what is that?
I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you so right that's the border of this particular card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to give you a set, right? So for folks that like, this is a pretty standard tarot card size right here, right? And that's the border situation. Like you almost get another third of the card you're getting another third of the card for the price. Yeah, but it's such a big card, and the card stock is good for some normal size cards. It gets a little floppy. I'm not a big fan of the box, but
it comes with a book too. You still have the book?
Come with the book? Yeah, oh yeah, I still have the book.
I got the original one the day it came out, I think. So I have no book anymore. I have no box anymore. It has suffered throughout the years.
There's the book, and this is, it's not full color. It is sepia tinted, but this is a pretty sizable book, and apparently mine has a sticker in someone's tried to, it's got a theft sticker in the bottom of it. So
oh no.
Yeah, I hope mine.
How'd you get that past security?
I don't know. in my magnetic pants. I stole it.
Oh my, what else is stuck to those pants?
I pick up loose change all over the place.
Hey, I'm sure when you leave the restaurant, they're like, wait a minute, where'd the fork and the spoon go?
Yeah, Druidcraft Tarot is a super, super good one. And then there's another one, right? So what are some of the newer decks this year that came out that you really think people, if they haven't bought already?
Some of the newer decks. I mean, if you just like, I don't care about price anymore. I mean, the new Ciro Marchetti deck is astounding. Obviously, I got the one that's customized, but like a lot of people point out, Ciro Marchetti decks, I mean, once you've seen one, the others kind of look similar. So, but this one, it's big, it's borderless. Only problem with this is a lot of people are used to the Ciro Marchetti decks that just have just this massive, beautiful gold border. They're thick, and this one ain't. There's no beautiful gold border. It's not thick, but it's still expensive. But the artwork, the design, everything in here. If you only get one Ciro deck, I would say, I hate to say that, I would say do this one. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I think this is one of the best releases of the year. If you don't care and you're just like, screw it, I'll pay $65 plus $10 shipping for it. So yeah,
well, that's what tarot's become this year, is this really expensive. It's expensive anyway when you're collecting decks every single solitary week, but it's it's been expensive. I mean, shipping delays, material costs, printing costs, things like that are all driving the cost of tarot really high.
Yeah, I think I've spent $5,500 on just tarot decks this year.
Yeah, I mean so where I think that's, when you can find, I think the good point about the stream is that you can find tarot decks out there to fit just about any budget, and if you're careful and you're watching all year round, you can find the deals like Llewellyn and Hay House that are sending out 50% off sales and 35% off sales, and that stuff is really helpful. Anymore though, my mindset has shifted. Like, it used to be like, if I can't get this thing for less than $30, it might not be worth having. But now, right, we're shifting into this, you're starting to get into more indie tarot, especially trying to avoid fakes and things like that. But even the indie tarot stuff is up there, and deservedly so, right? I mean, you got people who are doing the art, they're doing the work on things, and so yeah, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just, it slows you down. You're more deliberate about what you buy.
Yeah, and some of these indies end up going mass market. I mean,
at some point, right? So if you're not over the moon about it as an indie deck, just wait on it. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's gone mass market? Curious Travels. This is mass market, right? Still,
mm-hmm.
Is it? I think
so.
I think so. Oh yeah, Curious Travels with mass market. A couple of other ones that I'd like went mass market. So I'd rather have. I mean, well, what you're saying is correct. I mean, there's a lot of just gorgeous decks like this one here. I mean, the Modern Love Tarot, just absolutely stunning, gorgeous. It's something you're not going to get. You can get it on Amazon. Does it make it mass market if she's selling on Amazon and shipping it?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay.
I don't know that, but I would be careful that is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I recommend people buy it off Amazon. So because on her site you had to pay shipping. On Amazon, you don't have to pay shipping. So I don't know if she fixed that.
As long as she's the author of it on Amazon, right? Well, I'll tell you. Everybody searched for Modern Love Tarot on Amazon.
Amazon.
It broke my screen. It broke my screen.
How did it break your screen?
Wow, it just broke. It just delayed. It says it's by Ethony. Yeah, that's a good deal. All right, so it says it's by brand is Ethony, so that's good, as opposed to like the other craziness that's out there. And then she has a new tarot coming out as well called the Penumbra Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to ship this week or next week. So I'm looking for another one that just came out that was I spelled it wrong when I searched for it. That's so funny. That's such a funny thing that I would do that, search for it incorrectly. Yeah, there's another one out there just came out, Mystical Melodies, which is that vintage cartoon style. It's $23 on Amazon as well.
Yeah, I got that one. That's amazing.
Is it? Yeah, good. That's the other one that's supposed to be in the mailbox today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, Mystic Melodies is a fun one. I like that one. I got to start using it on the stream. As with everything, I have limited time. So I have to 4K flip through like another 78 decks in order to put them on the stream. And then I need to build another gazillion tarot towers in order to fit all this shit on the thing.
Yeah. Too, so. Well, mine is starting to get things have branched out to the desk.
It's like a virus,
That's right. Now I have I don't have just the shelf. I've got things stacked up on the table next to the shelf, and then on the desk itself there's 2 or 3 decks and different things that I have to unpack. And I got to get through all the flip throughs and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
All right. What else are you recommending, Tarot Oracle? What other decks haven't I bought that I need to go spend my money on?
I don't know. Well, since you don't have the Wizard's Tarot, I'm going to get that shipped to you today. So
you stop it right now.
You said you didn't have it.
We're not supposed to enable each other. We're not supposed to enable each other's habits here.
I say, I'm looking at the shelf back there. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the shelf back there. I see a spot for it.
Yeah, because I've stripped the shelf down for the show. Like they're all right.
No, I'm saying on the very top. I mean, put your hand up there, the very top row in the far right.
Right.
If you put
right over
there, right that spot. I think they
right
can fit the box.
All right.
I think if you turn the box sideways, there's the first thing I was thinking. You know what should go there? I'm just thinking the Wizards Tarot box would fit right in that spot right there.
Right there. It's this shelf right here that has like the most room. Although everything's stacked up in front of it, right? And then down on the bottom is all my books and different kinds of things like that.
There you go.
Only some of the books, because some of the books live on my desk and my other desk. So you can see there's another desk over here in the corner.
Oh, there you go.
This is a very complicated room, T.O.
Well, clearly you need a better shelf. You need a larger shelf, like I have for my board games. I ended up going to Home Depot and get one of those things they store in the garage. They're like, this is supposed to go in your garage. I'm thinking, no, it's not. That's supposed to go in my living room with stacked full with board games. That's what it's supposed to have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's pretty much where, I grossly underestimated the number of tarot decks in the space that they would require. So it is a little bit overwhelming, Effie. I think you're exactly right. I think sometimes I'm like, oh, what do I choose? Is that true? That's true. You know, they're a good friend if they enable your habit. I don't know if that's true.
I think it'll fit. I mean, come on, Chad, back me up here. This should fit on that space over there. I think it'll fit.
It would.
There you go.
Especially, there's a couple stacked up here. I can move these up to here. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's not a tarot tower by any stretch of the imagination. And it's got all kinds of weirdness hanging off of it. So
it qualifies as a tarot tower. That's sufficient.
Yeah, it does its job. So what are some other decks that you think are, that Mystical Melodies deck is pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, let me go get that real quick. Talk amongst yourselves, I guess. Let me get that.
She's gonna go get it. So you can pick this up on Amazon for $23. It's brand new. It's brand new, and it's like brand new. Like when we talk about brand new, it says December 14th, but people already have this deck in hand. And so it's come out early. And this is a little trick for you tarot enthusiasts, that if you go directly through Llewellyn or US Games or Hay House or whoever the publisher is, there's a good chance you'll be able to get that deck just prior to release. And then if you know somebody who runs a tarot shop or a spiritual shop, become friends with that person and start to identify new release decks that are coming out as well. And you can oftentimes get that deck early. So, or if you just know the person who's building it, like Tarot Oracle, who's building the deck, who gets the deck sent to him for his expertise. But yeah, Mystical Melodies, absolutely.
Yeah, here it is. So, and you said you're getting this today?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the mailbox today. It was supposed to be here last week, but it was very strange. It said out for delivery on time on Saturday, and yet had not yet entered the postal system. So I'm not sure how they arrived at that point, but
maybe it's still in the air, like the 8 of Wands.
Right, they're just gonna drop it from right. They're gonna fly into the airport, throw it out the window, and it'll hit the house.
Yeah, hopefully it hits your house and nobody else. Maybe it's a drone delivery. I mean, it's still flying.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, but Mystic Melodies.
Drone free. I think I'm drone free in this zone.
Hey, if you hear buzzing outside, maybe that's your delivery. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. Good old school vintage cartoons. It's fun. It's interesting. I think it has a lot of good stuff in it. And like I said in my review, I love how everything has an expression in a face, even the buildings and stuff like that. The clouds even have an expression. So it's just great. It's really great.
And for $24, like that's a good deal. That's a good deal, I think.
Yeah. I think the final one for me would be this one right here, which I know this is unpredictable and nobody ever see this coming. So prepare yourself, because this may be shocking to many people. But I'm just saying, if you get something, you want to be different this year. You just want to be different. You want to introduce somebody to a new system. You got to give them a thought. You got to give them the thought. Then we need to scan. We need to scan your tarot tower over there for the thought. I mean, first off, here.
Where is the thought?
Where is the thought?
It is right there.
There it is. There you go. That looks like is it a 2016 edition?
Yeah, it is. It's the medium. I needed to have the hints on it, despite the fact that I found an amazing playlist on your channel to help me prepare to read the thoughts. It was a challenge. It was a challenge to challenge without the little hints. And it still is, but I like the thought, and I think that it really does expand. So that's another good tip for your tarot lover this winter season too, is that things like the Thoth or the Lenormand help expand their reading. It helps expand the way they think about things. Lenormand is a great way to, Tarot Oracles, How to Read the Lenormand is also a great playlist, and it helps you to make those connections between cards, and that improves the way you read Rider-Waite-Smith or Thoth or whatever. And the Thoth is really, it's a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it took me this long to get to the Thoth. But
yeah, it's always hours of fun. So what would be your final recommendation before we get out of here?
So I think I'm going to go back actually to a recommendation earlier, and that a recommendation we made earlier, and it is the Tarot of Curious Creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I think of the holiday season for me. This is the deck that I think a lot of readers would be really interested in. I think that if they've been following Chris Ann or following tarot, I think the Tarot of Curious Creatures is probably my final recommendation in terms of what to get your. Any recommendation on a good Thoth book? Lily wants to know.
Yeah, if you watch my Llewellyn sale video in my playlist, I recommend a Thoth book that's on sale for literally half off. I think it's like $10 or something. Like a book, like a thick book is $10, and I think they'll ship it for free if you buy X number or whatever. But go there. It's the Snuffin book, I think. But it's a Thoth book. It's on sale at Llewellyn. Of course, I don't have a link. Let me go. All right, give me 10 seconds. Hang on.
I'm going to raise
Llewellyn Thoth book. All right, let me go. Llewellyn Thoth book, not Book of Thoth. The Thoth Companion, is that it? The Thoth Companion. So it's $11. I'm going to put a link in the chat for this thing. And for $11 for like a book, like a decent, like a physical book, I think they ship it for free, blah, 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 is insane. Absolutely insane. Like if you want to learn the Thoth later, even if you don't want to learn the Thoth like right now, if you want to learn Thoth later, you're talking about a 240-page book for $11, and they'll ship it to you for free. It's half off. So it's insane for that book, and it's an amazing book. I think you'll learn a lot from it. Even if you're going to learn the Thoth later, I would pick it up while it's on sale, because that's like lower than Amazon even, and Amazon's sales that they have, that's lower than that. So that's just deep discount at that point.
That's right. And it's a good idea to keep an eye on the Llewellyn website all of the time. So they're always adding coming soon decks, some good, some bad, right? So but it's always a good idea. And they have a quarterly discount, right? Usually 35%. So yeah.
Yeah. Quarterly, they'll have a sale. It's always a nut sale. How would you consider the card stock? What do you think?
Of Tarot of Curious Creatures?
Yeah, that's not moving at all.
No, this is a really well-built deck, right? This is not, these cards they've been shuffled a bunch and they're still holding up. They're matte finished, so they're not going to catch the greasy fingerprints from that a high gloss. I don't know. I'm getting curmudgeon-y. It has borders, which we know you love, but they do what I love in the borders, and that is that they break free of the border. So they use the borders wisely. But I think this is a super cool deck. I think that it'll make anybody who gets it insanely happy. It comes with a great book. And there's also a whole community that Chris Ann, I think Chris Ann's also like a great creator in that she's super available and she creates a wonderful community of people. The guidebook is, it's not full color, but it's well done and well documented. So you can read through it I haven't, but I'm sure it's wonderful. Yeah, but that's unless you can get the Waterfall Tarot shipped by Christmas, in which case that would be the one that I would.
Hey, there is a sale on that this weekend for 30% off.
Well,
it's down to $20. Yeah, if you want a Waterfall Tarot with no box, this is down to $20 even this weekend only. But Curious Creatures is as thick as mine, and I got 350 GSM. Okay. So that's super thick. I mean, that's amazing card quality. And I made sure on mine to get the highest card quality I could, because I don't want everyone being unhappy, being like, it's a piece of shit. Yeah, you know.
These you don't cards want that. Ripped when I shuffled them. But
I looked at it and it was disintegrated. What's going on?
Yeah, but I think for me, in terms of like my final recommendation for your tarot lover, I think Curious Creatures does a good job, not just because of the deck, but because of the community that Chris Ann fosters and just all the kind of neat things that she thinks about.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you.